So, who am I? A good way to describe my role is a health and life coach. My work is helping people to become their own health and life coach, not just while we work together, but for the rest of their life. I have a health science degree in health education. My focus in this subject comes from a lifelong interest and a personal testimony in taking my sovereignty back from my food addiction. I studied and tried everything to stop the momentum of mounting anxiety, depression, and compulsive emotional eating until I found what works for me, and I lost almost 50 pounds. Weight loss was just the beginning of my testimony. After making changes in my internal and external dialogue, as well as my fitness, nutritional, meditative, and relaxation routines and behaviors, I no longer needed my prescription eyeglasses I had worn constantly for 20 years. I remember one day looking at a bottle of some kind of supplement or medication when the fine print was blurry and then trying to read it without my glasses. The text was acutely clear with my naked eye, so I stopped wearing them years ago. My complexion cleared up too. Also, I used to get ear infections frequently, but no more. That's not all either. My bouts with anxiety, depression, and insomnia faded away almost entirely. And if I experienced them, I knew why, because they would only happen if I substituted self love and care for an excess of immediate gratifications and things that made me feel good in the moment, but at a more long term expense to my health. I've been coaching now for 7 years and am familiar with how different we are. I have my testimony, and everyone has their story based on the cards they are dealt by life's dealer and their reactions to them and how they choose to play them. So you won't hear me saying that something that has worked for me works for everyone. This may sound like common sense, but if you search the internet for health and life advice, you will find that many things work for someone. I love the challenge of finding out what works best for you sustainably. What is a life coach? So the MNLP next to my name stands for Master of Neuro Linguistic Programming. Let's unpack that. First of all, I do not practice hypnotism. It does work for a lot of people, though some are not receptive to it. I, for example, cannot be hypnotized like many others. I do know how to do it, and I'm not against it just because I don't practice it myself. The reason I bring this up is because it is very common among NLP practitioners. Second, you won't ever see a book written by me titled something like How to Manipulate and Control People. Why would I bring that up? If you Google authors who are NLP practitioners or search the subject, for example, on Audible or Amazon, there are a slew of literary works with similar titles. I do not want to manipulate, control, program, or hypnotize anyone. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not even saying that NLP practitioners are not making this work for them in the spirit of empathy and service to others as well as themselves. I just have a different semantic with regard to NLP that, like I say, I feel the need to unpack personally so that you can understand me better, especially if you are entertaining the idea of entering into a professional relationship with me or referring me to someone that you care about who could use some help. My degree in health education and mastery of NLP is crystallized around my principles, which are rooted in personal internal sovereignty. I don't want to manipulate or hypnotize you. I want to help you to take back your deliberate self-control or sovereignty that you may have been giving away to things like eating when your body is not hungry, compulsively or emotionally, for example. NLP is about internal and external dialogue. It's about taking our power back from bad habits or addictions that have become deeply buried under our consciousness. I don't need to manipulate or hypnotize anyone in my programs and coaching sessions. I help you to act, think, and create your life and yourself deliberately and consciously. Our minds can sort of resemble time machines. All up in our heads, so to speak, we can travel into the past with our memories where we find anything from nostalgia to trauma and regrets. Or we can travel into the future and feel things like anticipation and anxiety. But the cutting edge of all creation is right now, fully present. This is why meditation is a central pillar in my personal self-care regime. We can all be one of two types of creators. We are either mind-bound creators by default, meaning that we are very reactionary, heavily influenced by outside perceptions and others' views, often unconsciously, or we are deliberate creators, fully present, conscious, and mindful of our creative endeavors. There's a lot more that I want to say about the ideas in this episode. In 620, I'm going to talk about my sessions, services, and programs, both remotely and in person. Ultimately, it's important to me that you understand that I'm not just promoting another one-size-fits-all diet or weight loss program. I'm not just running sprints with my clients towards goals like losing a certain measurable number of pounds. I coach you to coach yourself for the rest of your life. That often means that you come away not only with your own sovereignty and self-mastery, but with the ability to coach people in your life that you love and care about to do the same. Thank you for taking in this video. Please follow my channel and share with others. Also, please reach out to me with anything that you've heard here or anything that this show brings to mind. Have an amazing night. Cheers.